Welcome. We are so close to the winter solstice, so I want to do a special teaching today for you. And this is all about the healing power of trees and the moon cycles as we come up on the winter solstice. So I recommend this book. Is called The Healing Power of Trees by Sherilyn Hidalgo. And a lot of our women are here on our training chat, and we're transitioning over to this larger chat to share with you what we've been talking about today, which is healing power of trees, obviously, plant medicines, crystals, and how we're using all those in our practices. And so in our Facebook group, the Global Goddess Tribe, I would like to refer you to that group. And a lot of the ladies are going to be posting their favorite books, some crystal resources, some resources for healing that they've been utilizing. And we talked a lot about the healing power of turmeric. And so this is a turmeric smoothie. I'm going to be doing a 21 days to feeling fit program starting in January. And so this is a smoothie that's completely bright in yellow. It's the pineapple base and turmeric. And it says, I love this little card. It says, be a pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, and be sweet on the inside. So on the back, it has this smoothie recipe. And this one is coconut milk and turmeric with pineapple, a carrot, some banana, and a little lemon, and a scoop of the Juice Plus Complete powder. So yummy. And we don't get things that are this bright, bright yellow in our diet very much in the Western world. So we're going within right now, the next couple days are the end of the fall season, the time where it's the darkest and the deepest internal hibernation as we prepare for the longest, darkest day. And so this is also in alignment with the alignment of Jupiter and Saturn coming within 1 degree of each other. So these two planets are going to appear on the evening sky I've been meditating with Jupiter and Saturn all summer and all fall. And I do a lot of plant medicine where I sit outside with hape, it's also called rape, and tap into the sounds of nature. And just watching those two planets trek farther and closer, and then they get closer and closer. Now they're moving across the sky, and they're going to align where they're coming into, like I said, 1 degree. Is called the Star of Bethlehem, or the Christmas star. And this is a time where it's been prophesized for many, many eons. And this time is now. It's happening on Sunday and Monday, the 20th and 21st. And so we were talking today on our chat, and I'd like to bring to you some of these teachings and then share with you a guided meditation about the healing power of the trees. So in the Celtic calendar, this is the wheel of the year. There are 13 lunations, or 13 full moons. And so we are actually, the Celtic calendar is not aligned with the Gregorian calendar. It's aligned with the traditional calendar of the moon, the goddess. And that starts, the beginning is, the closure is Halloween, which is a pagan holiday, actually. Samhain, which is also celebrated in the Catholic world as All Saints' Day, or in Mexico and the Latino world as El Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. And so that is the closure of the season, and the very beginning is November 1st. And so that lunation was last month, which was the birch. This lunation is December, and this is the Rowan, or called Luis. And so the Rowan is, here's a picture of the Rowan. And so this tree is a mountain growing tree with beautiful red berries that look like a little pentacle. And so in this book, it tells all the details about each of the trees. So the actual astrology sign that's associated with is Sagittarius, which is a mutable masculine fire sign. And the symbol is the Ceanataur. And so the planet that's ruling the Rowan is also Jupiter. So as we come into this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction where they're coming so close together, it's going to look like one bright star in the evening sky. And this is also considered the dawning of the age of Aquarius, or the shifting into the new earth. And so this is a massive shift, closing off the dark energy, returning to the light. And so as you meditate on the darkest, deepest night, which is coming up here on Sunday before the dawn, what kind of practices are you doing to go within? And so we've been talking a lot about plant medicine, working with essential oils, working with healing herbs such as turmeric, like we're talking about with that smoothie internally. Also on your own body, you can use turmeric for anti-inflammatory. It's really great after surgery or if any kind of sprains. And so, you know, even though it's bright yellow and it will get on things, you can wrap it with a rag or whatever. But the colors of the rune for this particular lunation is deep blue and purple. And the keywords are aspiring, exploring, freedom loving, and foresight. And so this month, which is the winter solstice, which is December 21st and 22nd, marks the beginning of winter and the rebirth of the sun. So this beautiful bright yellow smoothie, or, you know, eating pineapple on the return of the light would be a great way to celebrate within your own body and your own personal practice, which is something really simple that we can do. So as you go within, I encourage you to have practices that are more introspective, journaling, intention setting, and things like that. This is also a really powerful time to charge up your crystals. And so a lot of the women on our call were talking about their crystals, and they're going to set their crystals out during the solstice. And, you know, we're also really asking the universe to clear any overcast skies so we are able to see the beautiful star of Bethlehem. And you'll be able to see it, you know, tonight, tomorrow night, the next night, Monday night, Tuesday night. It's going to be within 1 degree of each other. So it's going to be really bright for several nights in a row. And you're going to see it right at evening time in the Northern Hemisphere. So you're going to look for that. And this is a particular time when the moon is also in its waning phase. And so the moon is not going to overshadow the star. So you're going to really be able to see it. And that hasn't happened since the 1200s, since the Galilean age. And it won't happen again for hundreds and hundreds of years. So it's very, very powerful. So Rowan is a tree of vision and psychic powers. And so even if you don't have that tree in your vicinity, or you don't have the ability to gather a branch from it, you can also call in the essence of these plants. And we talked earlier on the chat about the plants having spirits. And I know that that sounds weird, but if you think about alcohol, like hard alcohol is named spirits. That's the actual traditional name. And why is it called spirits? It's called spirits because it's a tincture of a plant that's been fermented. Now, obviously, it can be very abused, and then that tincture makes people turn into somebody else. You know, people who have drank way too much and become a totally different person, or continue to drink way too much and they're unrecognizable because they've abused the spirit of that plant. But traditionally, it's been used for tapping into the spirit of that plant. And you can make tinctures from all kinds of other healing herbs as well. Dandelion root, ashwagandha root. So there's a beautiful sacred eye drop that's made into a tincture that we use in healing medicine called sananga. And then it's strained and strained and strained and strained until there's no particle matter in it, and it's placed in the eye. I have a video on my YouTube about that. So Rowan's main totem is the horse. And so the relationship between horses and humans have always been a powerful one. And it underlies a need for respect of what is wild and an appreciation of what is wild in each of us. In shamanic use, horses could help humans ride to other realms of the spirit, bringing back messages from deities or retrieve forgotten wisdom. To enter a trance, shamans use the drum, whose beat stimulated the drumming of the hooves and the sensation of travel or flight. The flying motion type of trance brought visions, and shamans would return with teachings and messages for the rest of the tribe. The horse served and still does serve as a vehicle to guide and divine revelations, and is related to astral travel and serves as our magical companion. Whether we dream or travel while in trance, we extend beyond the usual boundaries and can fly anywhere. So with that being said, as a shamanic practitioner, I do use the drum as a sonic driver to pull my clients and myself into meditative states so we can travel into the other world. But even without the drum, I have 2 horses, and my horses have actually journeyed with me into the other realms when I wasn't even expecting them to, especially my mare. And so some of you who may have owned horses all your life know that there's some horses that are just regular horses and some horses that are your heart horse or your spirit horse. And so my mare is my spirit horse. Her name is Diva. And currently she is my daughter's horse, as she's learning to ride barrels. But her true purpose as a horse is to help us to journey and to travel together. And she's actually journeyed with me on many astral travels. And she's even appeared to some of my sacred sisters. So I have that confirmation. They've even described her, what she looks like and everything. So horses are really powerful beings. We have them here on our retreat center property in North Texas at our Yoga for Love studio cabin and Inner Goddess retreats. And their hooves, like it's saying here in the book, the stampede sound, or the sound of the hooves on the earth, brings you deep, deep, deep into a trance-like state. And you can achieve that also with a shamanic drum soundtrack to help you to travel into that introspective world, what we call the lower world or the middle world, where we're traveling in, searching for our power animals, asking for our guides, asking for our indigenous teachers to be appeared to us so we can receive those teachings and come back. And if you don't know how to do that, just message me. I do these types of sessions privately. And so we can work with you on that, just scheduling a time. You can just DM me, or you can visit my website under the services, yogaforlove.com, and book a time. And this is a really beautiful, very powerful practice. So the mare is the ancestor of the horse clan and takes the position of the southeast in the ancient British wheel of totems. This direction is connected to the Pleiades. So many of you might be familiar with the constellation of Pleiades. And right now, in this time where we're stepping into this new earth, our galactic family from our star nation is really communicating with us. So if you're not intuitive, or you don't think you are, start tapping into more and more people that are intuitive, and those intuitive guidance systems will start awakening within you. There's lots of really amazing groups on Facebook that you can also tap into and receive information of what's coming through from our galactic families. Lots of really great YouTube videos to watch on that as well. So in the UK, a huge representation of the Afghan white horse is in Oxfordshire, and it can only be seen in its entirety from the air, which is one of those other magnificent revelations on how do they even get that perspective before we had air travel, right? So who could have laid that out for it to come into such a clear vision from when you're at the bird's eye view. So this is made in the earth in white chalk, and it looks over the valleys of Pewsey. It said that the ancestors of Britain were the 7 daughters of Rhiannon, and their home was the Pleiades. Perhaps this is a clear clue to our ancestors originating in the stars. So another totem for this time of year, this lunation, is Chiron. And Chiron is also the Ceanataur from the Greek mythology. Ceanataurs were a race of creatures that had the torso and the head of a human and the body of sometimes a winged horse. And so they were depicting carrying bows and arrows, giving them a raw archer energy. So Chiron in particular is the archetype of the wounded healer, wise but crippled. He brings information to us through our body symptoms, and often in illness, it's discomfort that we seek out the meanings of our physical symptoms. So sometimes as we are tending to have things that come up and come up and come up in our life, then we finally start to go within and learn what they're about, right? So here we're forced to stop and look at ourselves and heal what's causing us pain. So Chiron has much to share with us and teaches us to listen to our body's symptoms. He gives us knowledge on how to heal. And if any of you have studied astrology, Chiron is placed in your chart. So that's one important thing to look at, is where is the wounded healer in your chart? What planet is it next to? And each of the planets has its own type of overseeing archetypical energy. So Chiron's bow and arrow provides us with a clue as to how we might use our mental abilities. Our minds are like powerful bows, and we can notch our arrows of thought and release them into manifestation, but it takes practice and mastery. So as we work with mastering our thoughts, we work with affirmations, and we work with visions, and we work with creating our dream life and bringing that into manifestation. I'm going to hold a workshop for y'all, at the beginning of the year. And we're going to do a dream life notebook and affirmation creation. So I look forward to seeing you for that, because that creating your thoughts and creating your visions and bringing it into manifestation is something that I've been practicing for years and years and years. And so if you would like to align your life more into what that feels like and into your truest path of who you really are, then starting with affirmations and your dream life visions is super important. So we can become co-creators with the universal life force. The power of belief and the choice of our thinking can affect our bodies and bring states of imbalance back into a state of perfection. Body symptoms can sometimes be related to problematic thinking and the limiting beliefs as we hold on to our fear. So therefore, we can correct more things easily when the symptoms first appear. So the name Rowan comes from runa, which is the ancient word in Norse meaning magical charm, or it also means magician in Sanskrit. We enter the world as we enter the world of possibilities and co-creation with spirit. We bring the power of miracles into our healing, into our world. There's no difference between the dream time and the mundane world, except in how we believe. I'm going to say that again. There is no difference in the dream time and the 3D mundane world, except for how you believe to perceive it. So what you're dreaming is also what you're envisioning, if those are in alignment, and those will become completely fluid and into alignment when you start these practices and really start implementing them in your life. So Sagittarius challenges us to loosen limitations of our own belief systems and expand our consciousness to embrace all possibilities, including joy, enthusiasm, ecstasy, and healing. So I'm going to take you into a guided meditation from this book. Again, this is The Healing Power of Trees. I have used this as a reference for years and years and years. So I invite you just to close your eyes and to rest your mind and to find a comfortable seated position. We'll take a journey with Chiron, the spirit horse. So this is the Priestess of Rowan. You might want to put some high frequency music on in your background. Music makes a very big difference in your meditation. You can just Google. One of the easiest things to Google is getting yourself into the frequency of the earth, especially if you're doing a shamanic meditation, either a shamanic drum track, a Native American drum track, or a meditation in the frequency of 432, which is the resonance of Mother Earth. So you can Google that, put that on. And so we'll take a moment to ground, center yourself, breathe into your heart. Let yourself just begin to settle down into the earth, allowing yourself the opportunity just to be and breathe. Take a minute to pull the energy up from the earth. Breathe it into your heart. Inhale, pulling it up. And then exhale it out in all directions. Inhale it, pulling it up. And exhaling it out in all directions. Above, below, left, right, forward, back. Again, bringing it up from the earth. And exhale it out. This is expansion, the power of expansion. In your mind, travel to a place in nature that you love. Take a moment to envision it, and it is winter and you're dressed warmly. From the sky comes your spirit horse. And he or she lands right next to you, and you feel her hooves or his hooves hitting the ground, shaking your body. And he invites you to get on for an astral ride. Take a moment to greet your horse. Take in their beauty, their power. So the horse loves to be petted, but it's also kind of rude to touch their nose first, because you don't want someone just coming up to you and touching your nose, right? So greet your horse in a respectful manner. And then he or she may allow you to touch his nose, his ears, caressing your horse. I like to stand shoulder to shoulder to withers to my horse, and I reach down with my hand between their front legs and just rub their heart center and just snuggle into their neck. And if you get in deep enough, you can tuck your shoulder up underneath your horse's jaw and let your horse's head just drop in to your shoulder as you wrap your arm around toward his ear at the top of the pole, and just holding his head, letting him drop in, and know that you can be trusted. Take a moment to greet Chiron, the spirit of this horse. Chiron is arriving and indicating that he will accompany you on your journey. He has a handsome human upper body and the lower body of a beautiful, strong, flying horse. You exchange greetings and take off into the wintry clouds. And take a moment to look down at the horse's flying perspective at the world below you. Notice this perspective. Take a moment to feel the freedom of flight and to let yourself soar. Completely safe and entrusted on this horse's back, feeling his wings flapping next to you. As you fly high above the earth, your spirit horse and Chiron eventually fly you to the dimension of the Priestess of Rowan, the sacred tree. And looking down, you see a landscape filled with beautiful rowan trees, ripe with their clusters of red and orange berries that are shaped like little pentagrams. Your horse companion and Chiron land you safely within the grove of trees, in your spirit realm. This is called the middle world. It's an alternative version of the earth on a different timeline. So just dropping in, you feel your horse's hooves hit the earth. Ka-kung, 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 ka-kung. And you're here now in the middle of the Rowan forest, looking up and around you and feeling the sense of these beautiful, magical, psychic-powered trees. This is also called the witch tree. And as you travel into this realm, this is where the term flying on broomsticks comes from. The trees are ripe with their clusters of berries, and your companions stand next to you. Chiron places his hands upon your heart and sends you healing energy to heal any physical problems that you may be having. Take a moment to receive any messages that Chiron has for you. This beautiful Ceanataur. Pause. Ask about any troubles that you might like healed right now. And then give him your gratitude. As you dismount your spirit horse, your attention turns toward the beautiful grove of Rowan that you're standing in. As you breathe in the wonderful forest scent, you find that there is inspiration everywhere at this place. In all possibilities. In the distance, you see a beautiful priestess approaching you. She has a radiant smile and walks up to you, and she places the crown of rowan leaves and berries on your head. Look deeply into her eyes and see that the love radiating from her is your own love reflected back to you and her love for you. This beautiful priestess of the tree. Tell her what you yearn for, what you desire in your life right now, what would bring you into the highest alignment of your highest good. Speak it to her. Tell her how you would like to bring your light to the planet. How would you like to show up in this new earth? What is your highest calling to serve? And seek her protection and guidance. She will become your staunch ally. Take a moment to give her an offering and receive her offerings in return, giving her your gratitude and receiving her protection and guidance. Show her some places in your body, mind, and soul that are distressing you. She'll gladly lighten your load. Give you inspiration, renew your enthusiasm, and make you laugh. She heals you. Feel the grand possibility of all miracles and agree to enlarge your belief system to include more and more of the mystery and the magic of creation as you connect to these higher dimensions of love. Making that agreement to fulfill your spirit contract and to let go of what people think or judge about you, knowing this is your reality, this is real. It's all within your own vision, but it is real in this dimension as you are here in this beautiful sacred forest with the Priestess of Rowan and your spirit horse and the guardian of Chiron. Thank the Priestess for her presence in the world. We feel ready. Jump back on your spirit horse and fly home with Chiron. And they'll bring you safely back into this dimension. Landing here, dropping into the earth. You feel the hooves hit the earth. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Take a moment to ground yourself back into your body. Feel your earth rooted nature deep down from your root chakra down into the earth, bringing you back to your body, back to this dimension. And when you feel fully back, take a moment to say goodbye to Chiron and your spirit horse, knowing it's only just for this moment. Your spirit horse is ready to fly whenever you call. Chiron is ready to help you understand any physical ailments and to assist you in your healing. Ground and center in this place and in this time, and stay here quietly for a moment and ponder the beauty of your experience, taking as long as you like, maybe grabbing a journal and journaling about your experience. And do this to ground yourself, because like all dreams, the details are easy to forget if you take too long to record them. So come back to this realm whenever you're ready. Take a moment to journal. Let's bring our hands to our heart center, bringing ourselves back to your center completely, honoring this beautiful sacred meditation, honoring the spirit of Chiron, honoring your own spirit horse, and honoring the spirit of Rowan. Have an amazing winter solstice. I look forward to hearing about each and every one of your practices and how you choose to show up during this beautiful, magical transition from the darkest of the nights to the return of the light, sitting under the energy of this beautiful Star of Bethlehem. May you be light. May you be love. Blessed be. And so it is. Namaste. I love you all so much. Bye. Post your practices in the Yoga for Love Global Goddess Tribe. Okay, I look forward to hearing from you over the weekend. So much love. Happy solstice.